Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. Welcome. Listen, student loan debt, it is at an all-time high. Guess what? You could be one of the million people left still owing six figures, right? That sucks. Absolutely, it did. But don't think the administration is done yet. Hi, I am the Nicole Johnson, founder of Wealthy Women Lifestyle, where I teach women to define and achieve their goal of financial freedom so that they can begin to live life on their own terms. So I'm checking over here to make sure we're live across all the platforms. So that's why I'm over there. You guys have been great in asking questions about the Scholarship Readiness Masterclass that is hosted by Wealthy Women Lifestyle on Saturday, August 10th at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So tonight, I want to talk scholarships. I want to talk scholarships. And what I can tell you is that the student loan debt is in the trillions of dollars. Okay. It is in the trillions of dollars. And the last statistics that I read said that Black women were two-thirds of that trillions of dollars. Can you imagine that? It's an emergency. The police are on their way. That should be against the law, right? That should be against the law for us to be that represented in such an enormous amount of debt. Okay, but it's true. We have become professional students. We go back and we get master's degrees and multiple master's degrees and doctorate degrees and law degrees and medical degrees to still try to compete in the workforce, to still be hitting a glass ceiling with our counterparts. That's another story for another time. Okay. That is another story for another time. Because on tonight, or on the replay when you're catching this, we're going to talk about one of my favorite master classes that I will be hosting. And the reason that I love this master class is because one, I wish I had had it available to me when I was trying to make a decision about college. I wish I had had it available to me when I was trying to make a decision about college. Okay, but I didn't. So my goal is to be to my community what I needed when I was sitting in their shoes. Okay, because as I always say, if in 40, 50, 60, 70 years from now, if our story is still being told incorrectly, it's our fault. It is our fault. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link in the chat. And if you are catching this on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, any of the platforms, I want you to take this opportunity to copy that link, save that link, go and get registered. Okay, go and get registered. So I'm going to show you the resource that we'll be using in the masterclass, and then I'm going to talk about some of the frequently asked questions that have come up. Okay, so this is my copy. I usually order one every year. Okay, so you may have seen me show one that was 2024 or 2023. I think they back to 2020. Okay, but this is the Ultimate Scholarship Book. Okay, it's the Ultimate Scholarship Book in which we will be going through it during the Scholarship Readiness Masterclass. Okay, you can order this on Amazon. It has become available for shipping as of July 16th, and I recommend you get a copy because there's a lot of information in here. And once you get registered, you'll get a questionnaire because I'm going to talk specifically to those of you who will be in the audience as to what your child wants to study. You see this book? It's so much information in here, right? So these are some of the pages. This is how they look. There are at least 10 scholarships or more on these two pages alone. All right. On the front cover, it tells you there are billions of dollars in scholarships and scholarships, grants, and prizes in this book. Now, how did I find the book? Searching Amazon, searching on Amazon. When my daughter was getting ready for college, I was like, "Whoo, child, let me find some resources. Let me find some resources." Okay. And so I ordered a couple of different ones, but this was the one that we had the most success with. And it allowed, the thing that I love is that you can start with your child in ninth grade. And the reason that that's important is because that should tell you who is the check made out to. A lot of the scholarships in this book pay directly to the student. They pay directly to the students. So they can start stacking money as early as ninth grade. As early as ninth grade. And that money can be used to pay application fees, room deposits, buy books, clothes, all of that. Okay. There is a ton of information in here. Ton of information. Okay. And so as we lead up to the master class, I'll be asking questions. And I recommend you get a physical copy. I believe there's a copy on Kindle, because what I like to do is when I find a scholarship, when I work for your child and I pull out I'm going to put a tab on it, right? I'm going to put a tab on it. Um, and then I'm going to make some notes. Why is this scholarship important for this student? So this is how I worked through the book. There are so many, there is sectioned off by state, is sectioned off by subject, is sectioned off by what you want your major to be. It's sectioned off by, are you the first to do this, to do that? There are clubs in here that you can join, your student can join for free or very minimal cost. And then after a year or two as a member, you get to apply for the scholarship. Man, I get excited. I love all my master classes, don't get me wrong, but this one, and the reason that it is because student loan debt, it's not going away for everybody. All right. But what I do know, and this is just by watching the trends, we will not see another round of this type of reform that benefits us in our own lifetime. This is it. We got lucky, got to strike while the iron is hot. So I am not saying that your students should not use student loans. I'm saying be more reasonable and use caution. But if we can stack scholarships, money that they don't have to pay back, let's start here. Let's start here, right? So I received questions like, my child got a full ride. That is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. But full rides don't pay for clothes. They don't pay for the gas in the car or the car. They don't pay for the weekend when they want to go hang out and spend money like it grew on some tree where they could just walk up to it and pick it off. Doesn't do all of that. Okay, so even though the full ride paid for room and board, maybe books, okay, how about some extra money to put money in their pocket? Keep them out of yours. Does that sound good? They sound good to me, and I don't even have a kid in college anymore. Okay. But keeping a kid out of my pocket sounds wonderful. Okay. Spending other people's money, OPM. All right. Why not? Why not? All right. So during the master class, I'm going to talk to you about proven strategies that I have found to be helpful for my own children, for myself as a graduate student, because this resource is not just for high schoolers. My passion is for them because I want to see us set our children up for success. My passion is to help the children. But current college students and undergraduate or graduate programs, seasoned students in graduate programs. Hey, Trey, good evening. They can utilize the resource, but my market is for our high schoolers, okay? Because you can purchase this book now. If your child's a ninth grader, you can flag the pages because the authors put out an edition every year. Why do they do that? Well, I told you guys we're a great audience. That's an excellent question. They do that because they add more scholarships each year, and some scholarships are removed. So you want to make sure that you have tagged the source. Even though it's not in the book, doesn't mean that the scholarship is not still available. Doesn't mean that the scholarship is not still available. So you want to be able to have this information. And so if you're working with a ninth or 10th grader, you may not need to order it again next year, but going into their senior year, you want to get a fresh copy. You want to get a fresh copy. Okay. I absolutely love this resource, and I've had several people who have attended before utilize the information, win scholarships, and then say, hey, my niece is going to college next year. She didn't get a chance to attend this year. I'll make sure she'll be back, or he'll be back, my nephew, next year, because this resource is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so during the master class, not only will we be going through how to use this, because let me tell you, you parents, you parents, you got to help the kids. Okay, I can tell you that my children, neither of them looked for resources in this book. I had to do it. Their attention span is about that long. But there were times when I would sit down with them, let's go through it together. But for the most part, I was doing the research, okay? Because the more money that I could get out this book, the less money that they would be in my pocket for. Hallelujah, okay? Hallelujah, right? So money from the scholarships pay for my daughter's books. And so one of the things I teach you is how to utilize the scholarship money to get books from different resources without buying through the school bookstore, because those books are totally too expensive. Okay. And then the resale value sucks. So let's find other resources. Okay. So I have a list of different websites where we buy books, and where we compare and price shop for better value, because what you're going to find at a school bookstore is highway robbery. And if you own one, you're a highway robber. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. Don't be mad at me. All right. So that is the actual resource for the scholarship book that you can order off of Amazon. And then along with your registration, I am a roadmap queen. So I actually have created a scholarship readiness roadmap. Quite simple. But this resource is something that you use during the master class to take notes. But when the master class is over, it's your guide on keep going through this book. Okay, it's how to keep going through this book, because scholarship packages that are put together by all of the applicants have to be phenomenal. They have to be phenomenal. And as a parent, sometimes you don't always have the time. Okay. So if we spread it out over a period of time instead of rush at the end, you give your child the better opportunity to be the obvious choice. I love the book. That's why I use it. Okay. Oh, Tracy, I knew you guys asked good questions. There used to not be scholarships for trade schools, but there are now. Scholarships for trade schools, scholarships for people who want to be entrepreneurs, okay, coming out of high school and they want to develop a business. So there's a variety of things in there, and the authors do a great job of pulling in resources. So I ordered my copy yesterday morning, and it came at about 9:30 last night. See, Amazon is my friend. That's why I own stock in it. And we talk about that for you parents. We talk about that in other sessions. But another part of what I like to guide the parents on is your child's a freshman. They don't know the teachers. Let's talk about teaching them how to network with the teachers. Little things that I've asked teachers. Well, if a student did this, yes to Amazon style. Hey, what was that? Listen. Okay, I get excited about those things. Don't pay me no mind. I've listened to teachers because especially if you have a good teacher, like the teacher that all the students love, okay? And now they're seniors or they're juniors and seniors. Everybody's going filling out applications at the same time. So, what will make your child stand out to that teacher so that when it comes time to fill out the scholarship letters and recommendation forms, they're looking for your child? Or they may come to your child and say, hey, bring me, if you have any recommendations that you need me to fill out, go ahead and get it to me by this date because everybody else is coming after this date and I'm going to be busy and I want to get yours done first. I want to get yours done first. And then you, in turn, take the recommendation letter and you turn it into a full package to hand to the teacher to help make part of the process easier for them. Real simple things. And the teachers, they look at your student like, yeah, they're ready. They're ready. Mom or dad are doing a great job in getting them prepared because high school, I used to tell my kids all the time, high school is a safe place to fail because you're here with your parents, and they're gonna guide and protect, right? But they also need to prepare you to go off to college because they won't be there as much. They will not be there as much, and we talk about that during the session. So you're going to get another email that says, hey, listen, these are some of the things that I touch on. So let me give you some of the experiences that I had in college. If it had not been, and shout out to the Big Brothers Big Sister program at Illinois State University, I got matched with an alpha man, and baby, that boy saved my tail a many a day. Saved me a many a day with the education that he instilled. Because he wasn't talking about a book, he was talking about life. What you don't do, what you do, where you go, where you don't go. You know, you coming over to the frat house, here's what you can drink, here's what you can't drink, here's where you go to the bathroom, here's where you don't go to the bathroom, all the life things. They're not written in a book nowhere. And so we had some very unfortunate experiences that happened on the campus, but I did not fall to each of those. That's right. Each one teach one. That's right. I did not fall to that because somebody was telling me. And so now it's my responsibility. It is my personal responsibility to be able to share that knowledge, which is why I teach the master class so that you all, because not every parent went to college. Not every parent went to college where they went away to school. You did online school or you did local colleges. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that the experiences are different. It's different where you get off the bus, you go to the class, you eat in the cafeteria, you go to the class, you get on the bus and you go home versus mom and daddy done dropped you off and now you here in August and you might not see mom and daddy till Thanksgiving. You might not see them till Thanksgiving. I can remember the first time I stayed out all night. I called my mother the next morning. She said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Why are you calling me?" I said, "It's 6 o'clock and I haven't been back to my room." And she hung up on me. I think that was when I realized I was really an adult. I was really on my own. Okay. But I had never stayed out all night like that. So being able to have someone watch over you, because I apparently my greenness was showing. Okay, apparently my greenness was showing, but thank God that He encamped an angel around me to ensure that I didn't get in as much trouble as I could have. Thank God there were no camera phones and internet back back then. Woo! Child. They put everything on World Star. So the master class is going to teach parents and students how to one utilize the scholarship book as well as provide you with a resource that you can use both during the session and after so that you can have something tangible to go back to. And then, so I'm going to drop the link here for you guys again. If you want to go ahead and get registered, it's going to be Saturday, August 10th at 9 a.m. Central Time. That's 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And I can't tell you what it is in any other time zone. I don't know. Figure it out. I hope to see you there though. But the other that we will continue to do is over in the Wealthy Women Lifestyle Facebook group is where we do additional support because I started my journey with teaching women about money in 2010 after I became a homeowner. And I wanted to share my experience to help women overcome the housing market. There were a lot of programs out there, but not enough people teaching on how to overcome and maximize on the different programs that were out there. I used two programs to help me buy my home that had never worked together. Both of them had an education requirement. And so when I'm putting the itineraries for what each program needs individually, I finally called my counselor and said, why can't I do both for each program? And they said, I don't know, because I don't know if they'll take that. I said, okay, how about this? Hold on a second. Hey, counselor at the other program, I got this counselor on this program on the phone. How about this? How about we work this out? Do I have to attend the classes over here and over here when you guys are asking for the same thing? No, you don't. Can I get that in a letter? Sure you can. Got the letter. And as long as I went to all the classes that were put on by one organization, I qualified for my benefits from both organizations. Nobody was teaching that. Nobody was speaking up to help one understand how to work with the other. Your girl didn't play. I'm all about other people's money, okay? All about other people's money. And so that allowed me to have $6,000 in closing costs when only two of that $1,000 was my own. Only two was my own. And I had so much money for the program that not only did it buy my interest rate down to 2.25%, I still had enough left over to buy my 1 year home insurance policy. So when I say I had less than $2,000 of out-of-pocket expenses, I mean that. And I walked to the closing table with a cashier's check for $602 and some change in two programs that said they weren't going to work together. But when I pulled them together and helped them realize y'all doing the same thing and it best benefits me. Oh, okay. And now we see it. So that was a blessing for me. And when I look at it in that fashion, blessings are meant to be shared. So this is why I do what I do. This is why I do what I do. So as the time went on, the biggest problem that women, especially minority women, Black women, were encountering is how do I overcome this $100,000 or $200,000 worth of student loan debt? Okay. All right. So let's work to get you on one of these really reduced income repayment plans. Great. They got my thing down to zero. Well, the housing industry, the mortgage industry said, hey, we can't accept a $0 payment. We can't. So we're going to give you a payment. We're going to assess a payment based on what the normal standard is. So when the paperwork says zero, they were assessing $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 payments because it didn't make sense for them to assess zero. So they were making up numbers. Okay. So now we got to find a way to overcome that. If it was one roadblock after the other. But from 2010 to 2017, I helped over 200 women overcome that process. I helped them overcome that process and become first-time homeowners. I got rooms all across the country. Hey, I'm coming to your town. Can I stay in my room? Yes, ma'am. Let me get your favorite sheets, your favorite pillowcases. All right, when you coming? That was their fee. Hold my room for me. They, folks can stay in there while I'm not there, but when I say I'm coming, clean it out. Get it ready. Okay? Over 200. And so now I continue and have expanded. And the Scholarship Readiness Masterclass is one of my babies because I want to ensure that our children, this is how we create wealth generation and create a legacy. Because if you didn't hear me in the beginning, student loan debt is in the trillions of dollars, not billions, trillions of dollars right here in this country. And Black women are 2/3 of that balance. We are 2/3 of that balance. So, as the administration is forgiving debt, forgiving debt, forgiving debt, guess who has the higher percentage of having that debt forgiven? We do. And over a year ago, I received one of those lovely letters that said, your debt has been forgiven. It was $159,812.92. That covered 3 degrees. 3 degrees. And I'm forever grateful. When it came off my credit report, I was like, felt like I had lost some weight. I had dropped that dead monkey. Okay. So as the administration continues to go through the process of student loan reduction, more of us are going to benefit. But there's still over 1 million people in this country with 6-figure student loan debt. And they say it's still growing. And what I don't want to see is any of your children in that situation. So we're going to talk about strategies. That's why we have a roadmap for you to write notes on strategizing on how to pay for college. Okay. All sorts of ideas come out of this discussion. All sorts of ideas. And I'm really, really super excited. I teach several master classes throughout the year, but this is by far my second favorite. Well, they tie for first. I am a vision board fanatic, and the Scholarship Readiness Masterclass, those go hand in hand because a lot of women have on their vision board how to pay down their debt. And the majority of them have a chunk of debt based on student loans. Based on student loans. So if you have any questions about whether or not you should be in this class, let me go ahead and tell you, you need to be. It's going to benefit you greatly. All right. How to use this resource. Because if I told you to order this book and have it sent to your house, when it got there and you saw this, you'd be like, she out of her mind. She is out of her mind. I don't have time to read this. So I'm going to help you. We're going to spend a couple of hours together answering all of your questions. This is why I encourage you to order the book before the session so you can take a look at it. Okay. And then you come to the masterclass with questions, which I am prepared to answer. Okay. You're not just coming in and look at my cute face. You're going to get the information that you need so that this resource doesn't end up in a corner somewhere. And if you follow the directions, I promise. Well, I ain't promising y'all nothing because y'all crazy. Yes. I promise that your child can walk away with significant amounts of scholarship money. Some of them pay directly to the student, and some of them will pay directly to the university or the college or the trade school, wherever. There are things in here like, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to get into the different types of organizations that are in here. Okay, maybe a few. So there are fraternity and sororities. You know, I had to go on it. Okay, they're and your child does not have to be a member. You don't have to be a member. These are high school students, so they're not eligible yet, right? They look at GPAs. They look at essays. We talk about all of that inside of the master class. It's based on major. What does your child want to study? It's based on location. is based on, are you the first in your family to do this? It can be based on memberships to different types of organizations. Okay. Yes, Trey, I agree. It is excellent. And I love this book. Even the authors put out $1,000 scholarship for a very simple essay. Very simple. Let me tell you how simple it is. There are 3 topics. You can use, um, they give you a general. You can, they give you 2 general statements. The third one is pick your own statement. Who does that? Who let you? Hey, we're gonna give you $1,000 scholarship. You can write the essay on anything you want. And when I don't see students even applying for that, I'm like, wait, huh? $1,000. That's your room deposit right there. That's your room deposit. That's at least a book, maybe 2. Okay. So I hope to see you guys inside of the masterclass. I really do. And you can use the link that's been shared in the comments and invite a friend, because there are kids that are in 9th grade or going to 9th grade. They're not thinking about scholarships. You, as the adult in their life, got to start preparing them. Now, just imagine $5,000 their freshman year, another 5 their sophomore year. That's 10 grand for college already. And then you turn around and do that again for 2 more years. That's $20,000. Who just got 20 grand laying around? I'll wait. Okay, I gotta go, so I can't wait too long. But again, this is how you strategize, right? This is how you strategize so that you can have money set up for your child. And I'm going to say this again, Trey, in case you missed it. People have asked me, well, my child is getting a full ride. That's excellent. That full ride don't pay for pizza on the weekend. And you know, kids got to eat. Their feet are big. Their clothes are bigger and more expensive. Now they want a car. Gas is expensive. Insurance is expensive. Parking fees on campus is expensive. The money that was paid to the child can cover those expenses. A full ride don't cover all of that. Anytime I can do something that keep my kid out my pocket. Oh, more clothes. That's right. They want 7 pairs of Jordans, but you only got 2 feet. Help me out. Why do you need 14 shoes? Why do you? Okay, I got a shoe fetish, so maybe that's not a good example. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Okay? And they're not cheap. They are not cheap. Okay? And you can't put stuff on layaway like they used to do back in the day. That's what I heard. I heard they did layaway. I'm not gonna age myself for y'all. That ain't none of y'all business. I'm not gonna do it. You know? So you want to set your child up for success. And I am not saying don't use financial aid, but let's think about it. The current administration, the current atmosphere of this country, they're doing away with affirmative action or have done away with affirmative action. They're working on less and less financial aid and grants for our children. Mhm. So student loan debt is going to continue to increase. But if you use scholarships that they don't have to pay back, you're setting them up for success. Imagine how you felt if you were one of those lucky ones or fortunate ones who received that letter that said your debt is forgiven. Okay? You look at your budget, and if you don't have a budget, I really need you to come on over to the Wealthy Women Lifestyle Facebook community so we can work on that. When you look at your budget and that $400 or $500 or $700 payment that just went away, How does that change your life? Now imagine your child not even being at that point, right? They graduate college, they got this degree, and 3 months out, they ain't found a job yet. 6 months out, they ain't found a job yet. Now this student loan letter talking about something you finna go into repayment. Really? What we talking about? What we doing? How did this happen? How you come up so soon? Before you know it, it's 6 months. It's 6 months. And what are we looking at? We have set them up for success. We have not set them up for success. Okay. So I want to help you. Okay. Because a lot of parents are still working and they're paying kids educational fees. Let's use other people's money. When I say other people, I don't mean yours. All right. So I hope to see you inside of the Wealthy Women Lifestyle Masterclass for Scholarship Readiness. It's going to be Saturday, August 10th at 9 a.m. Central Time. Y'all know y'all waking me up early on a Saturday, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So again, I'm going to recap. We're going to talk about how to utilize the scholarship readiness roadmap. As you can see, it's already ready for you guys. It's full of information. You see that? You see that? You see that? This workbook is a part of your registration. You'll get it a few days before the actual master class, but you'll also go over how to utilize this book. We're going to look at specific I'm actually going to open it up. I'm going to pull out some specific listings in the book. We're going to pull up the website. We're going to look around. We're going to ask questions. We're going to get answers. I'm going to talk to you about creating a student portfolio where you position your child, especially when they're starting off in ninth grade, activities, work, volunteer things. What can they do to make themselves the obvious choice? I'm not guaranteeing none of your results, okay? Because every child is different. What I am doing is giving you a good roadmap to be successful, okay? A good roadmap to be successful, right? And I'm telling you what I have seen work for my children, for myself, because I also was in graduate school utilizing some of these scholarships. Okay. And two, three, $400 here, and three, four, $500 here, $700, $800 here, $1,000 here, $1,500 here. All those numbers add up, and they do add up quickly, just like the expenses do. They add up quickly. Okay. So I want to make sure that you guys had a full understanding of what this class is about. What this class is about. And normally I'll tell you that it's going to be a 2-hour session. I stay until your questions are answered. You still got questions? We're going to sit and talk. We're going to get these questions answered because time is limited. Time is limited. Your time is limited. You guys are wearing a bunch of hats as far as work and school. And this is the time where kids are trying to get back in school. You got these expensive mortgage loan school lists. Y'all better teach you some pencils and some toilet paper and Kleenex and all that stuff. We have to do that when I was in school. But you got a lot on your plate. All right. You have a lot on your plate. So I am trying to make sure that you have the information, but also the tools to utilize the information correctly. Okay. For some time during COVID, schools stopped requiring the ACT and SAT tests. Sometimes, if your child and another child are neck and neck, the ACT test or the SAT test score could be the difference between your child being selected over somebody else's. Making sure they have the absolute best portfolio that they can have so that they become the obvious choice. Okay. So again, I want to make sure that you have the link to come and join us in the Wealthy Women Lifestyle Community Group, where we have tons of information. Give you a rundown of what we're doing over there. I just dropped yesterday their worksheet because they will be doing a no spend challenge, not in August because August is back to school. So in September, when y'all need to recover, they will be doing a no spend challenge. And a no spend challenge doesn't mean don't spend any money. It means we're going to be intentional with our spending. Okay, we're going to be very intentional with our spending because every dollar needs a job, which means it needs to be labeled. But you have to know where your money is going. And that's something that I find a lot of people don't track. We don't track. Where is my money going? It hits my bank account and I'm kind of at a loss, right? So some of you, some of the people in that community are six-figure earners. They make six figures a year. They can't tell you where all of that money goes at the end of the year. They can't tell you where all that money goes at the end of the pay period. And so I believe that we have to be very intentional with labeling our money, processing and managing our money. And a lot of people don't have a process. So we talk about that. We work on that. We're going to incorporate the 21-day financial fast written by Michelle Singletary. She is I wouldn't call her an economist, but she is a financial strategist and she writes for the Washington Post. Absolutely love her work because not only is she talking about practical principles, she's talking about biblical principles too. All right. And so I encourage my community to buy the book. A lot of people want to go get that book on Kindle. They want to go get the book on whatever that little talking platform is. It escapes me right now. Right. But they want to have the electronic version. But I'm a hands-on and I'm going to write something because something across that I read in that book struck me. And I'm going to write the date and the time on that chapter. And then when I reread that chapter or that book again, 6 months later, 3 months later, a year later, and that lesson hits me differently, I'm going to write the date and the time again because it's important that you recognize your own growth. And then there's going to be a time when you read a lesson and you're not going to have a date and a time. You're going to be like, I wonder why it didn't strike me the first 3 times I read the book. And it's not because the information is different, it's because Trey is different. Nicole was different. Everybody in the community was different. And that means that you grew. Your mindset shifted. And sometimes we don't see those things. Okay. Sometimes we just don't see those things. And so take notes, make memory joggers for yourself. Because sometimes when you're working so hard to make changes, you don't always see your progress. So you leave little notes for yourself. Okay? You leave little notes for yourself. You love that nugget? Good. You leave little notes for yourself. Okay? I have read 5 Love Languages multiple times. I always end up finding something different about me. I've read the 21-day financial fast multiple times. Something always reads differently. And the book is the same. I'm different. I am different. Trey will be different. Okay. So that's why I don't always do um, an audiobook. Okay. I prefer a paperback book or hardback book. I prefer a physical copy. I will tag, I will highlight, and then I take my pen and I write the date and the time. There are verses in my Bible that from 2010 that when I read it then, or let's go back even further, when I really started reading my Bible back to 2003, that was when I filed for my divorce. And I really, really pulled myself into the word. I had to, because otherwise they was going to pull me into the Department of Corrections. So I chose the word instead. I didn't need orange to be my new black. Okay. So when I look at the dates, and I look at the verse and I look at the notes. And then I also have written who was the preacher? Where did I hear it? Okay. And then when I read it now, or read it 5 years afterwards, or 10 years afterwards, or when I got into the process of my healing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, the revelation, the revelation. So part of the process of helping my community is we get into reviewing or examining. We have a full examination of where we come from, so we understand how we got to where we are. Because if we don't deal with the trauma from the past, we won't be better in the present, and we can't succeed in the future. Okay, so there's your examination that leads to your revelation. And once you start in the revelation and look at and examine what you've seen, that's when the work begins in your transformation, right? And once you start getting into your transformation, now we start working towards implementation so we can have a manifestation. I love that iteration like that. Okay. And that's how I put the roadmap together. All right. So manifestation has been my season. Okay. It has been the season for my community, but it has been my personal mantra for at least 4 years. And every year, things that I put on my vision board are coming to pass. They're coming to pass. And I can look at my roadmap because I'm very strategic and intentional. And I can see I went from step one to step two. And then I see where I celebrated that. If it was nothing but a smiley face, okay, a heart around it, right? But when it was a bigger step between two and three, I might see two or three emojis where I've celebrated myself. Okay. And I want you to understand, Trey, you've got to celebrate yourself. Every small step is important. Every small habit that's broken, every new habit that's created is a step in the right direction. Because so many times what we can see is we took 10 steps forward, but we got knocked back to 100. And we don't see the 10 steps forward. Currently, there's a group of women in my community that we meet once a month. And the only thing that they can tell me about is what they saved, how much they saved. And they have a habit. I saved $500, but nope, there's no but. I saved X. And that's all I want to hear. Because it doesn't matter that you had to spend it. That's life. That's life, right? Imagine what life would be like if you hadn't saved it. What's the adage that says it's better to have and not need versus need and not have? Come on. That's why it's called emergency fund. Okay. That is why it is let's save up, and your savings can never be too much. You can never have too much in savings because it's a lot of us are one tragedy, one fatal move away from wiping our savings out. Just one. Let somebody get sick, have an accident. One of my clients now, and we tell her, let me say this, when you come into the community and we have that one-on-one time and you share the trauma that you're in, okay, the financial disarray that you're dealing with, I will tell the community all your business. Mm-hmm. I will. I tell them all your business. I will say, so one of our community members is experiencing blah, 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 blah. I don't tell the identity. I do not tell. So your identity is safe with me. But here's what I know. They will step forward on that comment and tell on themselves. You know why? One, because it's a safe environment. Money is already a very challenging subject to talk about. So when I know that I have gained your trust for you to share that, I don't play because it take a lot for you to say, this is where I failed, this is where I'm failing, and it's embarrassing, it's shame connected to it. Not over here, honey. No, I don't play that. And they know Nikki look crazy, she'll off her rocker, and she will get you about playing with her people. Okay, so you have a very safe environment, right? And then I'll tell their business. And you know why they don't mind stepping up to claim it? Because by the time I've told their business, they already have a solution. They already have a solution. And now that they have the solution, the embarrassment and the shame is gone. It's when they don't have a solution that they still feel off balance and discombobulated and all of the things. Once they have that solution, they're good. They don't mind saying they was $75,000 in debt and they had to file bankruptcy. They don't mind saying that. And guess what? The courts told them that they had 5 years to pay it off. And so you don't know my coach like that. And then she come tell me, and I'm like, oh, they don't know me. Challenge, accept it. And then we celebrate on month 15 when that last payment toward that 72,500 and some odd dollars is paid off. And I'm jumping like it was my payment because I know the things that she went through and the sacrifices that she made because I laid out the roadmap. I laid the roadmap out. I said, this is how we do it. So they connect with me one-on-one inside our community, especially the VIP. One, send me their budget. I already got August budgets that I need to review. Reviewed one of that, man, what's that $500 credit card balance? And we got $6,000 in savings. Pay that off, please. Okay, I could do that today. Thank you. And we're going to bring that down to X amount of dollars. And we're going to make a lump sum payment on this one because that interest rate is ridiculously high. And now I need you to go and program all of this into your amortization calculator and tell me when it's going to be paid off. And if I don't like the numbers, then that means we're going to shift some more things around. You're going to cut back on something else, and we're going to get that debt paid off in 6 to 8 months. I don't care what that calculator say. We're going to make the numbers fit, not just take what they give us. And then once we put those things in place, they have the best. And I say the absolute best accountability partner, because once they write it down, now I got a copy. And now I'm looking. Let me see update. How many payments have been made? I need confirmation that the payment was made on this date. I don't play. And I've had them. One of them in particular, her daughter is 15. She's been with me since she was 6. Her daughter's been getting financial coaching since she was 6 years old. At 8, I was helping her pick stocks. I gave her mother an assignment. She came back and said, Miss Nicole, here go my list. Baby, what list we talking about? I pick stocks too. I like such and such and such and such and such and such. I said, Mama, you need to go on over stockpile, share the screen, and we're going to pick this baby some stocks. Forget Barbie dolls. We need stocks. And at 8, she had her own stock portfolio. If that's not legacy, I don't know what is. What we doing? So this is just not about the scholarships. That's a piece of it. It's all about the money mindset and developing a whole new relationship with your money so that you can start defining and achieving your goal of financial freedom so that you can begin to live life on your own terms. That's my passion. That is my mission. And if our story is still being told wrong in 40, 50, 60 years from now, it is our fault, not theirs. And you know who theirs represents. It's not us. So now that your student loan debt has been forgiven, that monthly payment that you were making can now be rolled into something else. I tell the community, and I'm going to give you this one for free. You should be paying into your savings as if it were a bill. Every check that you get, something goes into savings. You should be paying into your savings as if it were a bill. You know why? Because every day you breathe, you got bills. And believe it or not, your bill collectors can and will come looking for you after you dead. Think I'm playing? Let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about it. As a former 10 plus year bill collector, my supervisor, way down there in the office, listening to me, listen to this woman say, she had to be 60 something years old. My husband just died. And he always took care of the bills. I am about to move in with my son. And he gonna take care of those bills. My supervisor from down there yelled, ask her who has the insurance policy. The man is dead. The bill in his name. She said, I don't even know how to write a check. So I knew his pattern. And what I did was I stalled. And I knew he would take that headset off, throw it on the desk, and come down to my desk. And when I heard it hit the desk, I said, ma'am, listen, I'm going to put this note in the system. What I need you to do is go on and hang up. Because if my supervisor get back here, he going to ask you some questions about your husband's life insurance. And I won't be a part of that discussion. She said, click. I have a habit of taking off my glasses when I'm trying to concentrate. I have always told that man that I couldn't hear if I didn't have my glasses on. So when he got to my desk, he said, Nicole, I said, huh? Huh? What? He said, you didn't hear me? I said, you know I can't hear if I ain't got my glasses on. What you say? I said, well, she gone now. You want to call her back? He trying to get me to chase that man to the grave. No, I'm not. I'm not scrupulous like that. I'm not going to do that. But some folks will. And I just don't do that. I like to sleep at night and sleep well. So we cannot leave our children in despair. We can't leave our spouse in despair that way. Whatever we can do while we're here and breathing, set them up for success. And so this is why the masterclass will be held on Saturday, August 10th at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You got a loved one in college, doesn't matter that they're not a 9th through 12th grader, because the resource, I will talk about how to use the resource as an undergraduate and a graduate student. Age doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Most of them will say 18 and up. We fit on the and up part. Okay. I really, really love my audience. And whether you're watching this live or catching this on the replay, I want you to be equipped to define and achieve your goal of financial freedom so that you can begin to live life on your own terms. Financial freedom looks different for everybody. Somebody want to write a check for their child's college, first semester, and then second semester. Somebody wants to buy their child a car fully paid for when they walk across that stage at graduation from college. Somebody wants to do that. I want to help you put yourself in position. I want to help you get information so you can do those things. Somebody wants to write a check so that they can spend a whole summer in a whole nother country. And not only are they paying for the trip for them and 7, 8, 9, 10 other people, all the bills at the house for the summer are also paid. Financial freedom looks different for everybody. Okay, it looks different for everyone, but whatever it looks like for you is all that matters. So I want you to join us on Saturday, August 10th at 9 a.m., but also over in the Wealthy Women Lifestyle community. Because I will promise you this, I am your best and your worst accountability partner. I'm your best because I'm going to hold you accountable to your goals that we set together. So I'm going to make sure that they're smart goals. I'm not going to let you set yourself up for failure. But I'm the worst one because I'm going to hold you accountable to your goals. So when I don't see you putting in the effort, I'm going to be right there to remind you. Remember this? And when you want to give up, I'm going to give you 15 minutes for a pity party. I'm going to tell you, get your ass back in gear. Let's go. We got things to do. So I am the best and the worst, but I will be your biggest cheerleader along the way. Something I didn't have, which is the fuel and the motivation for me to keep going for you. All right. So I'm getting ready to head on over to the community, the Wealthy Women Lifestyle community, and do a little bit of conversation over there. And I hope you'll join us. I do absolutely hope you'll join us. I am the Nicole Johnson, founder of Wealthy Women Lifestyle, where I teach women to define and achieve their dream of financial freedom so they can live life on their own terms. And guys, guess what? I incorporate you too. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night.